Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you one and all. Welcome to today. Today is Thursday, the 30th of April, 2026. And I'm Pearson Bowen, happy to have you join me this Thursday morning. So welcome today, Thursday, Q Day we call it. And to all of you watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb, thank you for being here. Thank you always for being there where you are. We love the way you talk among yourselves, but we want you to talk to us as well. Your comments about what we do encourages us to continue doing it every single day. We thank you for doing that as well. So share the show, share the love. The one thing I ask every day, and you do so, and I appreciate it. Of course, if you know of something or someone who has a story to tell, then you tell us about it. And you can do so very simply by sending us an email. The email address is right there at the bottom of your screen. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and we thank you for sharing your comments, your queries, your concerns, and your suggestions. We love it, indeed. So continue doing so, partnering with us at Mornin Barbados. So, morning has broken, and in the breaking of the day, we want you to take some time to remember who woke you up today, which is God. And so I want you today, before you set your feet and plant it fully on the ground, to say thank you to God. Also remember the two greatest commandments given: love the Lord your God and love your neighbor as yourself. Two greatest commandments. And if you should do so, you'll find life is far more fulfilling. I want to remind you of that. You build your fulfillment through music and acquisition of money and things, but your fulfillment truly comes from having that relationship with God and relationship with your neighbors, your brothers, your sisters, or people around you. So fulfill your life today in a very significant way. I always ask of you, how do you spend your time? How do you use the time given to you every single day to breathe and to make a difference? Consider making a positive difference today. It is Jack. Good morning, Joe. How are you doing? She's watching from the UK. She says a terrific Q Day to everyone, everywhere, to you too, Joe. Have yourself a good one. Long time no hear. Good morning, Pat Ben. Pat Ben is watching from the United States of America. Pat, have a great morning as well. Have a lovely, lovely day. Slender Glenda, my friend. Good morning to you, Slender Glenda. She says good morning to all. Thankful Thursday to all. And to you, Slender, and your family. We extend deepest condolences. We know you've lost a loved one, and so we are with you all the way. After all, love for brothers and sisters. Rhonda, hi, sweet Roz. Oh, you're using a Spanish on me. Buenos dias, mi amiga. Good morning to you as well. She says she's back home. She's back in the land of this land for sure. And so she wants to say a very thankful Thursday morning greeting to everyone. Remember to live, love, and laugh, as my good friend Sweet Ron's does every single day. Marcia Rock, good morning to you as well. She says, hello, beautiful people. Continue having a good day watching Q, us all on this Q Day. To you too, Marcia. Curtis Hope, how do you do? Curtis, good morning. How are you, my brother? Have yourself a great day as well. Sending blessings to everyone, everywhere as well. So, it's Q Day. It's Q Day, and a number of you keep asking ahead of Q Day, where is Q in the community today? Where is Q in the community? Q in the community today is being held at the Police Sports Club at Weymouth. The Police Sports Club at Weymouth. The Police Sports Club at Weymouth. And Q in the community gets going from 11 this morning. The broadcast on Q 100.7 FM gets going at noon, but you are there for the entire day. So you're heading down to town, literally to Robert Street, for the Police Sports Club's Q in the community today. We want to encourage as many of you as possible to come with your best selves and your best behavior, but have fun. Have some fun playing your dominoes, socializing, drinking, partying, dancing, karaoke. A whole day of bliss. And so we want you to come on down to the Police Sports Club at Weymouth today for today's edition of Q in the Community. It also is the day before Labor Day. So tomorrow, Friday, is a public holiday in Barbados. We always celebrate Labor Day on the 1st of the month, whatever day it is. And so tomorrow, the laborers, those in labor, and the unions who support those in labor will be having many, many activities. We want you to get out as a family, as a community, as laborers, to participate in those activities as well. So tomorrow is Labor Day. So there's no show Morning Barbados tomorrow. However, today, the 30th of April, in Antigua and Barbuda, it's general elections. General elections are being held today in Antigua and Barbuda. There are contesting 17 seats, 16 seats on Antigua, 1 seat in Barbuda. There are two major parties, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party and the Unity Progressive Party. Those are the two going head to head. Gaston Brown is the Prime Minister. Mr. Pringle is leader of the UPP, and the other guy in Barbuda as well. So they're contesting those seats today, and so the polls have opened at 6 o'clock. The polls will close in Antigua and Barbuda at 6 this evening, and then we'll hear the results. So we'll continue tracking that polling today in Antigua and Barbuda to see whether or not there is a moderate or low or high turnout. And of course, you keep watching CBC News and listening to CBC News as well on radio to find out how the polls are going there in Antigua and Barbuda, because it's one of those elections we're keeping a very close eye on. And there are many other islands of the Caribbean who are close to their general elections as well, and so we'll be continuing to engage in those activities because they make a difference to life. So we're going live to Alicia George. Oh, no audio, dear. We're taking a look at some of the activity happening just ahead of the polls have opened. You can see people in line. People are talking to the reporters who are out already to cover this movement as people make the move to the polls to cast their X for their particular candidate of choice, but also to determine the next government for Antigua and Barbuda. Will it be the return of Gaston Brown, or will there be a new government in Antigua and Barbuda today? So our eyes are set, and our eyes will continue to bring to you what we see. So stay with the CBC as we watch as well what happens in Antigua and Barbuda today. So it's significant there. All right, so there's a lot to get to today. Today we want to take a look at the West Indies Cricket Association, Umpires Association. They are about to launch some innovations. What are those innovations? And if you don't know about that association, you get to know about it today. And there are women who are part of that association as well. So we'll talk to one about what to expect with the changes that are coming to the association. The Caribbean Science Foundation takes focus, as you know, on, again, leading workshops as we prepare for robotics and to use science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to make change in this region, to help us decide or chart our paths forward. And so Professor Cardinal Ward will join us ahead of those workshops. He's telling us a whole lot more. He is said to weave a series of narratives. This man, who is an author, a Barbadian author, who wrote the book Consequences, tells us a little bit more now in a moment about the Closet of Lies. What's in that book? We turn those pages with him in just a moment. And tomorrow being Labor Day, we thought we should have Dr. Henderson Carr to help us understand the stories around Labor Day and the significance of Labor Day to the peoples of the region and to Barbados. The National Training Initiative is about to launch a whole series of other training courses as well. They'll join us to talk about that. And we'll meet a woman who has put herself forward to represent Barbados in the Beast Games. What are those games about? And who is she? And what does she stand to win? And what can we do to support her? Those questions we'll answer when she joins us this morning as well. So we'll take a break here. When we come back, the Closet of Lies and the author in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We the best music.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment.
We're 10.5 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning, and so he writes, and he writes well. He writes books. He's written Consequences, and he's about to launch for us The Closet of Lies. What's that about? The thriller, it sounds like. And so Sean Pinder is his name, Sean Pinder, joins us now. Good morning to you, Sean.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about your journey so far as an author. When did you think you needed to start spilling onto paper your minds and your emotions?
Well, that started when I was introduced to a dictionary when it was incarcerated, actually. This gentleman, he's called Uncle Peter Bradshaw. He's doing life party thing. And he tell me, man, you're too frustrated. You gotta learn to read and read dictionary, educate yourself. So like, in that moment, no, you know that you're wrestling on different codes. While being incarcerated, so you're wrestling. Then some question out yourself, like, why you here? What the purpose you here? What's your value? What's your worth? How self-confident all this here? And I guess then you start just writing and everything.
You had
To
questions.
get the first chapter.
You had questions about life, you had questions about self, and you thought, let me just distill this thanks to the dictionary and the wonderful words that are within the dictionary onto paper. And so you crafted Consequences first. Let's talk a little bit about what that book, Consequences, is about.
It's about incarceration. It's about little incarceration, little street life, little family values, little about the church. It's like everyday life how people is interact with each other. You know, enough people could be incarcerated mentally. And people most study the physical part about incarceration, but not mentally. Because you could be incarcerated mentally by a variety of things. That's not help you do.
Yeah, the worst part is being captured in your own head. You just can't escape it. I get you. And so your message in that book, I suppose, is that there are consequences to every thought and every action. And so one has to be a little bit more prudent in the paths that they choose to take. So why did you think that you needed to write that book at all, though? What was concerning you at the time that you thought you needed to document something called Consequences?
You know, as a parent, and we like to say jail is like a traffic factory. You see so much people in and out. As a parent, you're seeing some young children, you realize like, what you could do to stop the flow, the influx of people in and out. Anybody was in Glandary or some point, and then up, HFP does hence is the reason consequences out. Hope the bucket at least steer some person away from crime or prison life itself.
Is it a novel or is it an instruction book?
It is a novel. It's an urban fiction novel. Basically, how Glandary was back in the day, how prison life is, how street life is, how one is interact with a person well incarcerated.
So it's a fiction. It's written based on the story of someone from your imagination, while at the same time it is drafted based upon what you see around you, which is the way of life of many people indeed. And so Consequences is your first publication, is it?
Yes, please.
How's it been
One of
going?
11.
How has it been going?
Great. You know, everybody want to win part 2 coming book Consequences. They all start with where they go. People say when next book Consequences coming out. But I decided to release lots of release because you know, written 11 books. So I guess you're just filling the void you create when incarcerated.
Okay, so it's available. Is it available at the moment?
It's available at Amazon.com and UE Bookshop.
At the UE Bookshop or on Amazon. All right, so it's called Consequences, which is your fictional look at being incarcerated, not physically alone, but mentally and emotionally incarcerated as well. When you're trapped between a rock, we call it a hard place, and sometimes how you make your way through that moment and how you reflect for just a moment on how did I get here? What happened?
Correct.
And
That's
then
the way.
hoping that we learn the lesson out of that particular exploration of our past. All right, so Consequences is available. But now you've come up to writing a book called Closet of Lies. What is that about?
That's the last book I wrote while I was coming home. You know, like you hear different stories of people saying like how society running. I was away for like 18 plus years. So you know you're trying to get a grasp to like how society running, and everybody got their own different opinion as they come in and what's going on in society. And the mind is telling me, you know, why not read a book? You know, being about some things these people saying, hence say Cameroonian closet lace. They just based on a next door neighbor, two next door neighbor actually. One named Samia and one named Janelle. See, Samia like a mother figure to Janelle. And Janelle have a person that just abusive, so to speak.
And so before you know it, they were just pushing everything into the closet, but a bunch of lies. And so when that closet is opened, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, I see you laughing. But when that door is opened, as we say, hell will break loose. So
That's true.
it's a story that shows what necessarily you see is not necessarily what it is. Am I reading you correctly?
Thank you. Yes, please.
Okay. Because while they put a wonderful facade, inside the closet are a bunch of lies that they still have to manage. And so there's the cover of the book. In terms of designing the imaging around the book, Closet of Lies, talk to me a little bit about the process there.
The design, my wife actually, she both can't really concept and design with it. And she and my sons, we decided there's the right graphics for this book here, so Closet of Lies.
Is it already available for release, or has it yet been released?
No, as we speak, again through the third, I would say it's 80% ready for the public. Again through the third proofread before we send the editor. We have everything done, but the team have everything done on pack already.
Well, that's an interesting process, though, to get to publication. Let's talk a little bit about that for a minute. You write, what happened, and you finished your manuscript. What happens next?
Next, after the editing process, as publishing through my publishing company, a Birth Fresh Year Publishing and Enterprise.
And then?
And then we upload it to Amazon via KDP.
So your publishing company publishes it. They put it out for you. You go through the editing process. Then it goes to publications. The publishing people, they either print it or they post it online for you and market it for you. Am I right?
That's true. Yes, please.
And that's the process. And you're happy. You're happy with that relationship.
Yes, please.
Out of curiosity, what does that relationship hold? Because, you know, one can sign away one's life and one's rights to a whole host of things. Talk to me about the legalizing of that relationship, and what are some of the things that are important to you in ensuring that you retain access to your work?
Actually, the most prudent thing is make sure you have everything incorporated. Once you got everything incorporated in your name, once is the barcodes, the logo, the manuscript, I advise anybody to incorporate their literature work, corporate America. That is the most safest form of incorporating your intellectual property.
So copyright your intellectual property, that's absolutely important. But your mind seems to be a mind that's always ticking. I could be wrong, but I believe I'm right. On this one. Your mind is always ticking. So something tells me that there is another book already crafted in your head that's just bursting at your brain to get out of there. So given all of that, and given that you've taken the fictional route, have you ever contemplated going in a different route in terms of the stories that you tell?
Yes, please. Well, actually, me and the wife who was cleaning up the other day, and we come across some, we want to call them volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, some short stories that mostly like for the Christian people, you know, they just can't read urban fiction. They gotta write something to please everybody. And then at 10 years old, they challenged me actually, write already a child-friendly book. So I started that idea, so about 10 or 15 chapters in there.
Wow,
and then they release a book trailer where I run Blue Media. I think about 87% are releasing the idea too. So there's been a lot of things going on.
See?
We just trying to put together.
Something, as you say, for the Christian people. I like the way you phrase it, for the Christian people, indeed. So Christian people, whoever you are, look out for this publication soon from Sean Pinder, indeed. And so what about children's books, though?
Right, that's one I told you, that's now currently working on, called 10 Years Old Child. She challenged me and told me, wait, don't write a child fiction book, a child friendly, but actually that she could read and children could read. So I actually started, and I tell you about, I had 10 or 15 chapters in it. But you know, it's between Closet of Lies, the book trailer, you know what I mean? They still got find time to go and look for your mother. So it's been everything. So
you keep talking about book trailer. What's that about?
Well, there's a book trail to this book here, Consequences.
It's a
Everybody
video.
wanted me to put it in a movie. So we decided to put this book in
You're going to make a movie
in
out of
a
it. Nice.
movie
Nice
over
indeed.
it. We're
All right.
80% ready for that.
So for anyone looking to purchase the first publication, Consequences, it's available on Amazon, or we can get a copy from the UE bookshop for sure. And we want to encourage you to get into the bookshop as soon as possible, to get online and purchase your own copy of Consequences. Then, how soon do you think the publication of Closet of Lies could possibly happen?
We approaching May. I want to safely say by June.
By June.
So I don't know if the book trailer can come first or if Closet Lies can come first, because both of them in the Americans and both of them, I know it's wrong to release first, but both of them are 80% again released just now.
All right. His name is Sean Pinder. Sean Pinder. He's Barbadian. He's an author. He finds his way down the fictional narratives, and so he's produced already 2 books we have available immediately to us, Consequences. And very soon, around mid-year, we should be able to have access to the new book, Closet of Lies, and then something for the Christian people and something for children as well. I just love that phrase. Sean, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We wish you much success with all of your future writings and endeavors, and we can't wait to turn all the pages of all of your books as well to enjoy the stories you tell. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. Morning Barbados breaks right here. We're back in a moment.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one?
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I asked you at the top of the show, what do you do with your time? How do you use your time? I'm also going to add to that, how then do you use your mind during that time, how you spend your time? And that's what the Caribbean Science Foundation is designed to do. How do we begin to train our minds in a different way by using science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? We had them on before. We were talking about opportunities for young people and for some of us older ones as well, to begin to create systems and activities and processes that can actually help us in the Caribbean. Professor Cardinal Ward is back with me. He's the Interim Executive Director of the Caribbean Science Foundation. Good morning to you, Professor.
Morning, Pearson. I'm happy to be back.
Good to have you back indeed. So far, so good. How have things been going?
Things have been going quite well. I have no major complaints. I think we have a busy summer coming up because we have 4 projects that are going to be running this summer. And 2 weeks ago, I talked about 2 of them. I talked about the Barbados Junior Robotics Camp. And I also talked about the competition that we have, which is the Barbados Robotics Innovation Challenge. And this is the one where we're asking our Barbadian colleagues to design a robot that can climb a coconut tree and cut coconuts. And the first one I mentioned, the robotics camp, is of course of high interest in Barbados. We had 80 kids last summer, and we're hoping to have a similar amount or even a little bit larger this year.
Right. So parents, children, get ready. Plan your summer now by entering and have an opportunity through those camps coming up for the summer period, and be a part of the innovation that's being brought together and brought about by the Caribbean Science Foundation. Because I know the last time we spoke, you were saying, you know, it doesn't have to be completed, but if you have an idea, a prototype, we can work with you. So let's talk about the upcoming workshops to perhaps get us ready to be able to execute in the way that you want to have us do it.
Okay, so today I'm talking about the other two programs that are going to be going on this summer. The first one, and probably the biggest one, is called the Caribbean Seed Summit. SEED stands for STEM Engine for Economic Development. And the reason for this program is that the Caribbean Science Foundation has been operating since 2012. Our flagship program is called SPICE, S-P-I-S-E. That's Student Program for Innovation in Science and Engineering. And the kids who have gone through that program are typically 16 to 18 years old when they come to us. And several of them have gone on to major universities around the world. 33 of them have gone to MIT, where I teach. And there are several at Stanford and Harvard and Princeton and Columbia and so on. And there's several in Canada also and the UK. And some of them are now doing PhDs, and they've been doing cutting edge work. And all of these youngsters promise that when they come to the Caribbean Science Foundation SPICE program, that at some point in their life, they would give back to the region. And we are now calling in the chips. We're saying, why don't you all come together, along with others from the diaspora who have not necessarily gone through our programs, and let's brainstorm on how we can start some STEM companies and create jobs for lots of people. And, you know, our motto, I keep saying for the last 10 years, that there's no reason why the next Google could not be created anywhere in the Caribbean. So the summit is going to bring together a lot of STEM folks from all ages, not just our SPICE students, to get together and brainstorm on how to start these tech companies. So there's some that are already starting to form companies, and some are thinking about forming companies. And so we are going to set up a set of investors and a set of judges and advisors that they can pitch their business plans to. And right now, I think today is almost the last day that you can apply, but I've extended the deadline till the 19th of next month if you want to pitch a business plan. And so right now we have about 23 or 24 companies and individuals and teams that want to pitch. And that should be a very exciting event. So we're trying to roll out all the chips and bring in as many investors and judges as possible, because we're going to have 3 full days of judges. And I must say that this project, the Caribbean Seed Summit, is a joint project between the Caribbean Science Foundation and the Ministry of Innovation and Science and Technology, the ministry here in Barbados. And they, of course, operate through Future Barbados for some of their projects. So it's really a joint effort. And we're all doing this together, and we hope that this will be a huge event. We're expecting about 200 people to participate, some virtually and some in person, and it will be at the Accra Beach Hotel in person. But you have to register to be able to participate.
And to have an opportunity to have your pitch. And so registration is open, folks, as you just heard from Professor Ward, until the 19th of May, but you need to grab hold of that opportunity indeed to have that seed sown into your project, your idea, so that we can, as a Caribbean people, develop and advance in technology and STEM just generally. So that's one opportunity coming up, and that's happening when? Give us the dates for that again.
Yes, the dates start on the 25th of June all the way through to the 28th of June. So it's a 4-day event. On the first day, there are only going to be business plan pitches, and then the conference opens up to everyone on the 26th, which I believe is a Friday. And by the way, if you're interested in also speaking at the conference, we have sessions that allow our people to come and talk about the cutting edge research they're doing. But those talks have to be focused not just on the theory, but on how what you're doing can help Barbados. or help the Caribbean in general.
Yeah.
Because
So-
we want them to be focused and relevant.
Right, it's very easy to find how to register, folks. You just go on to Caribbean Science Foundation online and go onto the website and make your registration completed by the 19th of May. And stand by for the opportunity, really, not just to be seen and heard, but to give life and breath through seed investment to your idea and your plan. And so that's one activity coming up mid-June to June. Let's talk a little about the other one that you've been talking about.
Yeah, I see that you have the Seed Summit up on the screen.
Yes.
It's the website is down on the bottom. It's caribbeanscience.org/STEM-Summit. Right? That's where you'll find everything we do is at caribbeanscience.org. So the second program, the website for that would be caribbeanscience.org/coding-workshop. It's called the Caribbean Computer Coding Workshops, right? So it ends with coding-workshop in the link. Now this program has been going on for quite a while. It used to be that we were trying to teach website development and how to make cell phone apps and so on back in just before the pandemic, 2018, 2019. And then the pandemic hit and we decided to go virtual. So we had run these in Barbados, we'd run them in St. Lucia and Dominica. And now they've been totally virtual all throughout the English-speaking Caribbean. And there are 3 workshops this summer. The workshops are certainly on website development. There's a workshop also on Python, which is a modern computer science language that can be used to make video games. You can also, and it's very popular for AI algorithms and machine learning algorithms.
Wow.
And of course, our third workshop, which is our newest, is on machine learning and AI, because we feel that as a science foundation, we don't have to be responsible for curricula in the schools and so on, but we try to push the envelope and have our people in the Caribbean try to keep up to date with modern languages and modern directions in computer science, because we truly believe in terms of building companies in the region, it is much easier to build a software company than a hardware company. The software company, you don't need a lot of materials and hardware up front, and those are generally very expensive. And so we know that AI is a buzzword all throughout the region and throughout the world, and we would like our people to be creating some of those algorithms and software that others are using, rather than just be a user where you buy this AI package and you use it. And so we encourage a lot of our students who come into our programs to go on to university, learn the mathematics, because that's what you need to be able to do machine learning in AI. You also need it in Python, of course, but to learn as much mathematics as you can so that you can be a creator of content and a creator of programs, for AI, because this is where the world is going. Yes. And we in the Caribbean have to be players and creators, not just users.
And you're right. And what I like is the fact that these workshops encourage Caribbean people with the Caribbean experience to be able to create for the Caribbean. And so because we have a greater understanding of what the needs are since we live it, now it's an opportunity for all of us to be able to put our collective efforts to solving some of the situations that we're occurring, whether it is in creating a new operating system or creating AI technologies, or just finding different methods of being able to effectively and efficiently achieve the results that we all want as business people. And this is open also to what age cohorts are you aiming for?
Oh, yes. This year, we have moved the bottom age down to 13. It used to be 15, but we're doing an experiment this year. So it's 13 to 113. We see this as our attempt to help train the workforce of the future.
Yes.
And so the oldest students we've had in the past has been 55 years old. So Pearson, you can sign up. You're younger than 55, which is good. But if you're up to 113, you can apply. And it's everything is on the website. All the application forms and so on are on the website.
CaribbeanScience.org. And that's where you go to get all the details. And so these workshops are all of those workshops then in person, or are they hybrid, or are they online?
They're totally online. They're totally virtual.
Okay.
So you can do it from your kitchen or your bedroom. Mm-hmm. And typically, the easiest workshop, if you're just beginning, of course, is website development. You can learn how to make a website. What we teach the fundamentals now. You can go online and find software to build a website for you, but you may not understand how it works. Mm-hmm. But at the Caribbean Science Foundation, we are bullish about understanding the fundamentals so you can create and so you can invent and hopefully become an entrepreneur and create some companies later on, because that's what we're about. But it's open to the public. And it can be a lot of fun. It runs from the 1st or so of July until the 22nd of August. And it's on Saturday mornings from 9 to 12 and on Wednesday nights from 6 to 8. I must warn your viewers that we do give homework, because to learn how to code and to be productive, you got to practice. You got to practice. So we do give homework, and we expect all of our participants to do the homework. And then, of course, as everything in the Caribbean Science Foundation, the students will form teams, whether they're 13 or whether they're 55, they'll get together, form teams, and they will work on a project. And the project differs. In machine learning, they're looking at databases and extracting features and information from the database. So last year, we had people looking at prevalences of breast cancer in the Caribbean and looking at a database and trying to process that and extract information that might guide hospitals and doctors. The ones in the Python, they generally make a video game most of the time, but they can make other things. And of course, in website development, they make websites for tourism or whatever app they think is important.
I love how you brought the ages together, those with bursting with new ideas and those with who are also bursting with experience, and how together we can all craft something that works and meets all of our needs collectively in the Caribbean. Professor Watt, I want to thank you again for joining us. I want to encourage everyone watching today who is still contemplating whether you should. Go right now to CaribbeanScienceFoundation.org and sign up for any of these workshops indeed. It's absolutely affordable, but it's also most impactful to your lived experience as well. So we want to encourage mothers and fathers to allow the little ones and us adults to stop sitting and thinking, that's not for me. It is also for you. So we want to encourage you to grab hold of those opportunities as well. Professor Ward, thank you as always for joining us indeed.
Thank you again, Pearson.
You're very welcome. Professor Cardinal Ward, Interim Executive Director of the Caribbean Science Foundation, and again, the invitation is to you to grab hold of these opportunities. We will take a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich Boyce and Damian Best as they review the action, the goals, the grit, the glory, and the stories shaping the league. From kickoff to the final whistle, this is your front row seat to Monday Night Football. Touchline, bringing you closer to the BFA Premier League. See you on the Touchline, live on TV8.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first.
To you.
20 minutes now to go to the hour 7 o'clock. We turn our attention to the West Indies Cricket Umpires Association. I know you're asking yourself, really have one of those? Yes, there is one of those, and there's one of those designed for a reason, but they're about to engage in some innovations that are going to excite you. So it broadens and widens your understanding of what, not just the organization is about, but how you can access all that's important for you to be able to access. And there's a youth component as well. So we'll talk about that right now. with the Public Relations Officer of the WICUA. What a mouthful. Kim Seeley Lewis. Kim, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson, and good morning, Barbados. It's a pleasure to be here this morning, Pearson, and having the opportunity to discuss the role of WICUA.
It is good to have you indeed. I know a lot of you are watching saying, but there's a woman.
Yes.
They got women umpiring, and you say?
Yes. We have been doing successfully, and ICC actually has made a role for women in cricket. We have Jacqueline Williams, and she's a renowned cricketer from the West Indies, from Jamaica. We have persons from Barbados as well. We have persons from Guyana and St. Lucia. So we're making the inroads necessary in the region with respect to cricket, and we are on the international field as well.
And I like to see it, because I always believe life has to be lived with in balance. And what I like about you is, if you don't know this, Kim is fantastic in finance and accounts and all of that. But Kim also loves cricket. Kim loves music. Kim, you have such a balance. And I call her Kim because she works with me. Such a balance in life. And I think for a lot of parents watching who are wondering whether or not I should allow my girl child to go onto the field of cricket, you say yes.
Yes, 100%. And what persons don't understand is that there is such a huge career opportunity out there for females within cricket. You can become a cricket commentator, you can become a match referee, you can become an umpire. And there are also persons in the area with respect to what we're doing here at CBC as well, persons that work behind the scene. So I can be an umpire and be an umpire on the field, or I could be the third umpire, or I can even be the fourth umpire, where I am the person looking at all of the technical work, making those decisions, redoing the reviews, and guiding the persons on the field. But what persons do not understand is, as an umpire, when we go out there, we are actually a team. And we think of the team not only being those persons that are officially what we call third level West Indies cricket umpires, but we work with our colleagues as well with respect to the match referees. So we are the officials for cricket, and we function as a team. And it's a great way for you to learn how to manage, because when you go down that field of play, you have 11 players, then you have 2 batsmen, and you have to manage that game. So you also learn how to develop your skills as a manager as well.
So it's a great opportunity indeed. But you thought, let's make an organization, let's make an association of this, the Caribbean the West Indies Cricket Umpires Association. What comprises that association?
That association is actually a governing body for all of the different associations across the region. It is recognized by the International Council for Cricket. It's also recognized by Cricket West Indies as well. Recently, we signed an MOU with CWA. In addition to that, we are embarking on what we call the digitization, bringing it into the modern world. Before, we had a website. Yes, it was dormant, but no, we don't do that now. We have a team of talent umpires. As you said, I have multiple tasks.
Yes.
So we also have a team of umpires where we have been able to come together and be able to digitize the operations and the functions of being an umpire. Peter Nero, who's the chairman for training, will let you know in today's world, you must have those technical skills to be an umpire on the international level. All your training is being done online. All of your communication with respect to your appointments online. All of your bookings and everything being done online. So one of the first things that you have to learn to be what we call an umpire at the international level is to have that ability to deal with technical tasks. If not, you're going to be left behind. You must have that skill even in the world of umpiring. So what is the association doing, Pearson? We have embarked on an exchange program for the youth. We call that the grassroots.
Right.
Because we have a panel, which is basically for those persons that are aspiring to be the international umpires. But then what happened to those persons that cannot achieve that level? So we are giving those persons the opportunity to travel across the region to gain that type of experience, to understand what it is like to be an umpire on an international field outside of your region, manage a game, persons that you have never met before, the different culture, all together and how you adapt to that environment.
Must have been an umpire at the local level before I have access to what you've just shared.
Of course, there are 3 components with respect to becoming at the highest level. 1, you have your local exams, and we deem that as level 1. And then you have your level 2, which is the written exam, which is preparing you now for that higher level called level 3. Your level 3, you have the practical component, and then you have the oral exams. And I tell you, Pearson, I will never forget the time when I had to prepare for the oral exams. My knees were knocking, etc. And I remember I was sitting at Kensington Oval and I was waiting, and they said, who will be going first? I said, I'm going last. And I watched my colleagues going in, etc. I remember when I went in, Pearson, I was in and out. And it was just like a flash, you know, and it was great for Barbados because at that point in time, I got the highest marks as a female across the region. So we have been doing well, but West Indian umpires have been doing well across the world.
When we hear of an umpires association, we think that that is designed to agitate for or on behalf of umpires. Do you have that opportunity as the West Indies Cricket Umpires Association to be able to have a voice at the Cricket West Indies so they understand what you're managing and what your ideas are?
Yes, we do that. And as I said, Pearson, we signed a memorandum of understanding with CWA. And that is as a result of us listening to our panel umpires at the highest level. After we had our conventions every 2 years, listening to the grassroots umpires as well. And then we went to West Indies Cricket Umpire CWA to negotiate what is happening, because we realized a couple of things are happening, Pearson. We need to have greater training and more training across the region. Across the Caribbean, persons don't have all of the tools and the warehouse. So we are arranging now for our chairman to travel across the region and actually engage in training, so everybody be on level playing field. But Pearson, this is not just the Caribbean as we know it. This is also the Americas. So we have the USA, we also have Canada as well. So you realize that we are expanding on what we're doing. And you will realize that with respect to our social media platforms, we have engagement across the world. And persons are asking us, how do I become an umpire? And the next thing that we're doing is to ensure that with respect to laws of cricket, the handbook, that we have one for West Indies as well. So from now, persons just look out and see that we are going to have the WICUA MCC laws of cricket handbook.
This is development. I know you're thinking to yourself, but they're just getting to tell me I out is a 6, it's a no, LBW, whatever, but it's much more than that. It's a lot more technical. And we look at that technicality and what else they're doing right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich Boyce and Damien Best as they review the action, the goals, the grit, the glory, and the stories shaping the league. From kickoff to the final whistle, this is your front row seat to Monday Night Football. Touchline, bringing you closer to the BFA Premier League. See you on the touchline, live on TV8.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV-Cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 46...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're joined by Kim Seeley-Lewis, who is the Public Relations Officer for the West Indies Cricket Umpires Association, an association which is designed for great reasons. She explained it to us just before we took the break. But did you know that in 2025 they were incorporated? And you're thinking to yourself, but why would the West Indies Cricket Umpires Association want to incorporate? What do you say to that, Kim?
I would say there are two reasons. One, to be recognized as a professional entity and to ensure that the stigma that be associated with such institutions will not be something associated with WICUA, because we are professional persons as well. There are also tax benefits that are actually associated with respect to the incorporation. Whereas we are incorporated, but we're also looking now to become a non-profit, not a profit entity. That was also achieved within USA as well, because you see in 2025 we also had incorporation in USA, and that was critical for us to be moving forward into the space that we want to, and therefore we needed to ensure that as an association that is not more of a charitable aspect of it, that we will not be taking the coffers that are being earned and then we have to be paying it out in taxes as well. Which
ties into all that happened at the 2025 conference as well, which is to design yourselves as an international brand of competence. And that is important because, I mean, when the rest of the world views the standard of umpiring in the Caribbean or the way that it is structured, it is important that we do project ourselves as one of competence. Indeed.
And that is true, Pearson, because persons don't understand that as an umpire, we are not only representative on the local field or in the local space, we are also representative on the regional space as well, but internationally. We had Joe Wilson that just retired. We had Mr. Taylor that was just added to ICC. We are making progress. We have Jacqueline Williams that is always there representing the West Indies. So we have to ensure that it's not just the umpires out there, but they have a professional incorporated organization representing them, governing them, defending the interests of umpires. May it be at the local level or what we deem as the intermediate level, but those ones that are on the international field representing each and every one of us, that you have the representation that you deserve.
And you represent the West Indies while you're doing this. Now, for those who are asking the question, but how does one even begin to become an umpire? What do you say to that?
Just have an interest. I can tell you my life story, and it's quite interesting. You know, my husband decided he was finished with cricket and he decided he wanted to become an umpire person. He decided that he was going to classes, and he looked at me one day, he said to me, "Why don't you come along, you know, and just keep me company?" I said, "Me? Keep you company?" And I got into the classes, and poor me, Pearson, you know me, I have to be answering questions and so forth. And the late Mr. Patrick Grisette looked at me, he said, "Why don't you sit the exams?" I said, "You sure, me?" Pearson, I did that. And each time I had one goal, beat my husband. And I did it. And it was that simple. In Barbados, what we do is that you will see via WhatsApp and our social platforms, we have notification coming out saying that training is coming up. That happens across the region as well. So irrespective of where you're located, there's always some form of notification coming out to you, informing you training is about to start. If you're aspiring to be an umpire, just come. Sometimes it will be online and sometimes it will be face-to-face. And persons do hybrid as well with respect to the training. It's that simple.
It's that simple. I mean, you love the game, you watch the game, you hear the game, you love the conversation around the game, so let's formalize it, and that's it. So you go to the classes and you take your exams. And then, you get really excited and eager. When do I begin to practice what I know?
Well, Pearson, once you have passed your local exams, you go into the field of play.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. I can tell you in different territories they have different approaches, but in Barbados you actually have a session where you actually have the opportunity of saying this is the scenario on the field, and the last time that was done at Harrison College. That happens in the Americas, it happens in Canada, it happens in Jamaica as well, and they also pair you with someone that has been in the field of play for a period of time. My first time was with Mr. Andrew Carvin, and my greeting was not that warm. I was reminded that I'm a female and where my place is supposed to be. But as females, we are stronger, no disrespect, gentlemen, because we do not get the level of critique that men will receive. We are actually critiqued on a higher level because of who we are. And therefore, when we go there, we have to understand that we're not just representing yourself, but you're representing the other females that are aspiring, but also you have your colleague that is on the field of play with you as your team, that you're also representing that individual as well.
There's a question coming in from our viewers asking about technology in umpiring, how it affects. Yes, I see your reaction. Tell me.
Technology. You still need to know the laws in order to make those decisions. Technology or no technology, it is not going to replace you as an umpire, but you need to know your laws. You can't get away from that. And I would say to anyone, even as a person responsible for transformation, I always say to persons, you need to know the theory, you need to know how to apply the theory, because at the end of the day, a computer doesn't think. A computer does not analyze. It can guide you with respect to what is seen and what is there. But remember, garbage in, garbage out. So therefore, as an umpire, you always need to ensure that you keep your skills and your knowledge up to date.
So now you got the answer to that. But there's something exciting coming up. I can't wait to hear about this exciting initiative that WICOA is embarking upon. Can you briefly tell us what it is?
Oh yes, Pierce, I know if it's going to be brief, but I will try. But WICOA, at the last convention, we made a decision that we will enter into this eco space that we will call digitization. Before we left the convention in Trinidad, we had an IG handle. We also had Facebook, and we have the website. But we also expanded. We now have YouTube associated, and we also have TikTok. Imagine umpires on TikTok. Yes. But tomorrow, May the 1st, we will be launching the rebranded website of WICUA, WICUA.org. And that is supposed to afford all of the umpires across the region to have an opportunity to have one communication hub, one hub filled with all the knowledge, what you need to know, access to the various training, access to the different programs that we are doing and we're embarking on. And that is going to be followed by a month of teasing, letting you know what we are going to be doing effective June the 1st. The activation of our work plan, where we are going to be taking the opportunity based on that digital presence to educate you about the history of umpires. Yes, we were founded in 1962, Pearson, but do you know we had umpires actually in the field of play for West Indies since the 1930s? Wow. 1930s. So we are going to allow those young persons that are aspiring and those young persons on our panel to learn about the history of umpiring. But we're also going to prepare you for that road to Antigua. What is that? That is the location for our next convention, Pearson. We only get an opportunity every 2 years to mingle and to meet and to discuss the challenges that we had over the last 2 years. So here's the opportunity. Think of what we call here the cobbler pot, where we have all these different cultures from across the region coming, where we as umpires disclose and discuss the issues and how we apply the skill set that we have. We learn from each other, and that is a golden opportunity, but that only happens twice every 2 years.
And so it's in 2027, since the last one was in 2025. So next year, the road to Antigua will be launched. You will get to see online how that works, but the website is WICUA.org. WICUA.org. It's going to be rebranded and launched tomorrow. Tomorrow, it is the day of liberation, literally tomorrow. And so umpires will have an opportunity in the space where they can come see what's happening within the organization, come see the opportunities available, come get a sense of your input and achievements, because I'm sure you're going to be celebrating successes as well as it goes. Of course, Pearson. All the time. We have to do that. We have umpires that are doing phenomenal jobs across the world, and we also need to understand that these umpires, sometimes this is a secondary job, but for some of them, this is their lifeline. So we need to be able to highlight those persons and the achievements that they have made. So get online tomorrow. Launching tomorrow, May the 1st, WICUA.org. And that's just 1 month, because in June, there's something else that they're coming with. And they are available on social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And of course, online indeed. Well done, Kim. Well done to yourself and the association. Congratulations. You know, there's lots of respect from the Caribbean for the work of our umpires indeed. So you can take that back from us at Mornin Barbados indeed. We really support and we honor and respect the work that you do.
Thank you so much, Pierce, and thank you, Barbados.
You're welcome. Kim Seeley-Lewis, the Public Relations Officer of WICUA. WICUA, remember tomorrow you'll be one of the first or one of the many to log in. Spread the news, make this viral. WICUA.org. WICUA.org, the website tomorrow. And don't crash it, but explore it indeed and see what's possible with our umpires indeed. So again, that's available to you. Morning Barbados takes a break right here. We're coming back with the news and more in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, Umatic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world. Your playlist, your station, 98.1, The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at the news now. A government minister is making the bold statement to Barbadians that the days of making CARICOM nationals feel unwelcomed are over. Minister of Home Affairs and Information Gregory Nichols says there are some Barbadians who have a disdain for nationals from other CARICOM states. He says it's why the country cannot criticize how immigrants in the United States are currently being treated and yet turn around and do the very same thing to people from the CARICOM states who come here to either visit or live. He spoke to that matter while speaking on the immigration bill in Parliament.
Sir, you remember the Myrie case? Where the government had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and our international reputation was dragged through the mud because of the treatment of a Caribbean community national coming to Barbados. We have had reports of the Guyanese bench at the airport, a place that was designed to embarrass people coming from our Caribbean neighbor. And Guyana is one of the biggest partners of Barbados today.
Barbados has come a long way in how it treats residents from neighboring countries.
So that when we put in the legislation an easier pathway to permanent residence in the legislation for CARICOM brothers and sisters, it is that affirmation that we are not treating anybody better than our regional brothers and sisters.
Barbados continues to record positive economic news with continued growth of the economy by 1.7% in the first quarter of this year. Central Bank Governor Dr. the Most Honorable Kevin Greenidge shared that information during his economic review of the first quarter. He says the growth occurred despite sustained economic challenges and heightened global uncertainty. Trevor Thorpe reports.
The central bank governor said the main highlight of the quarter is that Barbados had sustained economic growth despite global uncertainty.
Real GDP expanded by 1.7%, representing the 20th consecutive quarterly growth since the second quarter of 2021. Inflation was contained at 1.1% at the end of February, and the unemployment rate was at 7.2% at the end of December, And we also have unemployment claims for the first quarter that suggests that that has even improved further. Now, on the fiscal side, government recorded a primary surplus of 4%, and the debt to GDP ratio has fallen to 94.6%.
The top bank official revealed that regional and international tourism continue to drive the economy.
You have the U.S. market improving. That's about 300 additional tourists for the first quarter alone. We have the European market going up by another 300 tourists roughly, and that reflects the resumption of the airline KLM, which had not been coming to Barbados since early 2005. We have also from the Canadian market an additional roughly 700 tourists coming on stream, and also UK market. Now this was a stronger performer, 883,000 tourists, and that reflected increased airlift capacity from Heathrow Airport. And of course, there's CARICOM, and CARICOM increased by 700, and that reflected increased interregional connectivity in terms of airlife.
According to Dr. Brinage, the cruise sector played a major role in the period under review.
We had in-transit passengers rising about 30% to just over 359,000 visitors, and that was supported by higher vessel occupancy and an additional 25 cruise calls. So overall, the combined picture for long stay on cruise contributed roughly 3.3% expansion in tourism GDP, or we say tourism value added.
The central bank governor said they are looking forward to the next phase of economic progressive development.
With the advancement and adoption of BERT 2026 now by all, the focus is on increasing the shift to transformation and resilience. This phase builds on the earlier gains of the two BERT programs and is anchored into 5 strategic priorities. 1, enhancing productivity and competitiveness. 2, maintaining fiscal and debt sustainability. 3, deepening financial markets and strengthening climate resilience, and also advancing human capital developments.
The central bank governor said ongoing global uncertainty will impact the local economic outlook. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Today is General Elections Day in Antigua and Barbuda, and we go now live to one of the reporters at the Golden Grove Primary School to get an update as to how polling is going there.
St. John's Rural South constituency, and things are lit. It's not as fast-paced as where we were in Rural West earlier. The things are a bit slower and steady. What I do love about this this polling station here, as you walk in, there are individuals with the register of electors. So what they're doing right off the bat is to check with each individual coming in to ensure that their names are on the register and indicating to them which different areas to go to. So it's a smoother process, and the elderly coming in, everybody is coming in, and they're checked one time so that they know this is where you should go and this is where you should not go. So far it has been quite, as I said, a bit slower than where we're coming from, but things are going smoothly so far. And this is again the St. John's Rural South, one of the polling stations here, and the candidates here would have been the incumbent, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party incumbent, Mr. Darrell Matthew. You have Mr. Emmanuel Peters of the United Progressive Party, and I think there's also an independent candidate, Gail Peru Weston. So far, or West, Gail Peru West. So far, so good on this side of the fence.
So our friend Teresa Goodwin reporting there from the Golden Grove Primary School for us, and they will continue monitoring the goings on in Antigua and Barbuda in today's general election. Caribbean tourism stakeholders are being challenged to reimagine how Caribbean tourism interacts with the wider economy and society. That call from Chairman of the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Council of Ministers and Commissioners of Tourism, Ian Gooding-Edghill. He says based on a number of developments, including military activity in the Caribbean waters dating back to late 2024, 2025, ongoing conflicts in the Middle East, and rising oil prices, to name a few, the region cannot afford to simply depend on tourism. The theme of this year's conference is Tourism in Full Color, integrating blue, green, and orange and beyond economies into sustainable planning and development.
The message is clear. We must not operate in isolation. It must serve as a platform that connects and amplifies these interconnected economies. At the same time, we must recognize that sustainability is no longer sufficient. We must move toward regenerative tourism. Our efforts go beyond minimizing harm to actively restoring ecosystems, strengthening communities, and preserving and celebrating our cultures. It is about shifting from doing less damage to creating a net positive impact for our people, our environments, and of course, our economies.
To sports now, Barbados Pride will play Trinidad and Tobago Red Force for a place in the final of the West Indies 4-Day Championships. The Pride advanced to the knockout match after defeating Jamaica Scorpions on Tuesday, while the Red Force, who drew their match with the Leeward Islands Hurricanes yesterday, secured second spot. The Pride started the tournament on the back foot, but have rebounded well, as we hear in this report from Damien Best.
Barbados Pride showed that even in the face of adversity, they have the quality to refocus and play to their true potential in regional first-class cricket. With host Jamaica Scorpions leading the series 1-0 after the second fixture ended in a draw, the stage was set for the third match of the revamped competition. Dogged batting and clever bowling were the ingredients for the Pride victory, but more importantly, attaining the necessary points to advance. The innings and 11-run win moved the Pride to 42.2 points, while the Scorpions ended on 34 points. For clarity, in this revamped 4-day format, the top-ranked team with the most points moves directly to the grand final at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. However, the second and third place teams will meet in a playoff with a winner-takes-all match scheduled for May 17th to 20th. In terms of personnel, come playoff time, the Pride will be hoping for a repeat from top-order batsman Kevin Wickham. 153, 108 and 105 in his first three innings has paved the way for his team in this year's tournament. Praise must also be given to Captain Craig Brathwaite for leading by example. Dismissed for a duck in his first knock of the tournament, Brathwaite went on to score 44, 176 and 74.
Very proud of the team. I thought we put in a good effort, from the second game, getting the first innings with that big total Jamaica scored. And then coming here and getting the win in the last game, I think it was a very good effort. I think batting-wise was very good, scoring above 300 in 4 innings. That was good. I still think we could get better. And, Joshua Bishop coming in, after not playing the second game and getting, 9 wickets, was very good. I thought he'd been working very hard, from January, as I said. And it's good to see him, getting some performances in.
Like the skipper said, the spinners must also be credited. 34 wickets across the 3-match series. Jamel Warrican with 16 scalps, Joshua Bishop 10, and Roston Chase 8. Chase was named player of the match in that vital third fixture. He made 84 to silence his critics and took 6 wickets.
First of all, when I walked out, the score was a good score, so I wasn't under any pressure. So I just wanted to go out there and play my natural game, try to put some pressure onto the third Jamaican bowlers. After the first game that I played, they fielded long, so we wanted to keep them in the field even longer and make them extra tired. So that was just my plan, to go out there and just execute. I think the bowling, especially with the new ball, because Jamaica got some very big partnerships, opening partnerships. So I think that if we can work on our new ball spells in terms of getting a 1 or 2 wicket to then get into the middle order, bring those middle order batsmen when the ball is still a bit hard and new and moving around a bit, I think it'll make it easier for us to bowl out teams a bit cheaper.
So the stage is set. Barbados Pride versus Trinidad and Tobago Red Force for a place in the final. And whoever wins will clash with defending champions Ghana Harpy Eagles.
That report there from Damien Best. That's a look at news and sports. Until now, we'll have more news and sports coming up at 12 noon right here on TV8. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich Boyce and Damien Best as they review the action, the goals, the grit, the glory, and the stories shaping the league. From kickoff to the final whistle, this is your front row seat to Monday Night Football. Touchline, bringing you closer to the BFA Premier League. See you on the touchline, live on TV8.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good, your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
NTA, the National Transformation Initiative, moved to a new location, families. Dar's Court Business Center and Dar's Road Christchurch. We in Suite A on the ground floor in the Omega building. Learning never stops, so we can't stop. If you ain't signed up yet, sign up now at nta.org.bb. Get up good, winner.
Thank you, Green Monkey. Get up good, wanna. Get up good yourself, Monkey. And so here it is. You're in the Omega Suite. You're out Suite.
We are, yes. Suite A.
In the Omega, right, location. So there's a new location for those who need to know.
Yes.
Let's point that out. So give us directions to that. It's in Darrow's Road.
Yeah, so Darrow's Road. If you're familiar with where Paho, the Paho building is, it's obliquely opposite to that. You'll see a blue building at the front. You turn right there, and we're the building right behind that one. So it's a very familiar area for Barbadians, I know.
I gotcha. Raphael Saul, by the way, was with me this morning, Assistant Director of Partnerships and Courses at Coursera.
Yes.
There was a recent visit to Barbados by the team from Coursera.
Yes.
What was that visit?
It was a significant visit for us, Pearson. We launched the Coursera partnership in 2021, so we did have a visit then and in 2022. But over the years, as we've seen the growth and development of the NTI Coursera partnership and the significant increase in enrollment from Barbadians across our various courses, we thought it was important to have the Coursera team come, visit, get a sense of our on-the-ground realities and context and culture, and also align with national priorities and what's happening in ministries and across various segments of society. So it was a really rich experience. We had ministerial meetings. We took them to the Ideas Forum that was held at the Alexandra School. So they really got a full spectrum of the value of this NTI Coursera partnership to Barbadians and where the average Barbadian is at as it relates to their personal, professional growth and development, and how the NTI Coursera partnership helps to support that.
I don't want to tell tales out of school, but I'm still curious as to what was the report from Coursera then following that visit, just out of curiosity.
No, Coursera actually is extremely impressed. The Barbados partnership is really a model for what's possible when industry and government partner together with a goal of national upskilling. So they talk about Barbados a lot globally, you know, in terms of what we've been able to achieve. The numbers that we've been able to build over the years, Pearson, they're significant. For a small population of 269,000, I believe, by our last count, we currently have approximately 48,000 Barbadians learning on our platform actively. And over the last 5 years, that has produced a cumulative enrollment of around 200,000 enrollments in courses. Wow. We have now almost 20,000 courses available in a myriad of learning areas. And without major institutional push, we have a self-directed momentum where Barbadians are demonstrating we are interested in our own growth, improvement, and development. And that, I think, is something that has to be commended, and it's something the Coursera team has recognized as well.
And it is important indeed, because in taking the courses and passing the courses, you are setting yourself up not just for your personal future, but for the corporate future of Barbados indeed. Talk to me about over 20,000. That sounds like a lot. It's like a little me and the needle in the haystack trying to figure out, okay, from all these 20,000, how do I zero in on the thing that helps me? How can I do so?
So there are two paths really to that. Of course, you can contact us at the NTI office and just explain the areas perhaps you're interested in. Maybe there's an opportunity you're looking to apply for and you're thinking, how do I best position myself for success in this particular opportunity? So our team can help to guide and direct you so you don't get lost in the maze of all of these courses. But also, if you visit our website, nti.org.bb, you'll see courses there grouped thematically, and so we can help to provide guidance as it relates to where people should go. But if you're paying attention to the news as well, Pearson, you'll be mindful that nationally there are some areas of significant importance. You'll hear a lot about data analytics, cyber security, I'll call the big one artificial intelligence. These don't have to be things that feel out of reach for people, because there are steps we can take to help equip ourselves with the skills and the knowledge to function effectively in a world that is very digital and continues to evolve at a rapid rate every day.
I think what people need to know is that there are 4 letters that we tend to love to hear, not S-A-L-E, sale, but the F-R-E-E.
Those two.
The other ones, now, the F-R-E-E, we like to hear.
Yes.
And so enrollment in these courses is absolutely free.
Absolutely free.
Is it at one's convenience?
Yes, so I want to qualify absolutely free.
Tell me.
Only by saying that it's freely accessible to Barbadians and people living here. A massive investment has been made by the government of Barbados to make sure that all citizens of Barbados, everyone residing here, is able to access these courses for free. So really, it's an invitation for Barbadians to capitalize on, leverage the significant investment that has been made for our benefit. So as it relates to not just access now, but the ease of being able to complete the courses, they are on demand. So you can access them freely. You now get to learn at your pace. This is a way of evolving the traditional classroom. People are now waking up early in the morning, like we are up now, Pearson, and completing a module in their course before they're going to work, or they're doing it in their lunch break, or after work, at home, before they go to bed. They're able to complete the courses in a way that matches their lifestyle and their schedule. There's the Coursera app. People are learning on the bus on the way as they're commuting and so on. It makes learning very accessible and very flexible, and it removes some of those high thresholds and barriers to people achieving the level of success and professional growth they want.
That's exactly where we wanted to go with that comment, but that's important indeed. So are there some new courses coming up? And I keep asking, with 20,000 already available, how do you find what's new? You know, haven't you covered it all? So let's talk about some of those new ones that are available.
So NTI Coursera is guided in many instances by the World Economic Forum, and they're constantly doing research and producing reports that show us what are the most in-demand skills now globally. What's trending the most? What do people need to equip themselves with so their skills don't become obsolete or outdated? So because that research is constantly being done and the catalog of courses is constantly being expanded, it allows individuals to remain at the cutting edge of what's happening now. You may have done design, for example, but how is design now, whether it's graphic design or interior design or whatever, how is that now evolving in the age of technology and AI? So it might be an instance of you sharpening or developing skills you may already have. In addition, Coursera continues to bring on new institutional partners. So big announcement, you're going to see lots of it on our social media pages soon. Coursera has now onboarded Harvard as one of their institutional partners. So you're going to be able to complete courses with Harvard. You don't get a much more recognized university or name or brand than that through the NTI Coursera partnership, along with the Yales and Columbias and so on. And then our industry partnerships with Google and IBM and Meta. All of these mean you're able to marry academia and industry to provide a truly holistic and rounded experience. And ultimately, we want Barbadians who are not just academically strong, but when they're given the opportunity to produce in a project or given an assignment or they're given a new role as a company, we want people to know what to do, to have the actual practical skill to be impactful in the spaces they occupy.
Imagine a graduate of Harvard simply by taking a Coursera course.
From about here.
And you can boast all over the world indeed.
You can.
So it's matching our skill sets with those globally.
Yes.
Making sure that we are global citizens. The Prime Minister has been advocating this forever.
With Bajan roots.
With Bajan roots. But also making sure that we have the skills to back up what we know.
Absolutely.
And that's what's important. So accessing the courses, easy. There's a new location. It's now in Darrell's Road.
That's right, Suite A.
Suite A. And so now that there are more courses available for you, or perhaps there's some updates to the courses you've already taken, it's important that you go back online again and see what those updates look like and avail yourselves of those updates as well as you to upskill to be, as Raphael says, stay on the cutting edge of that particular skill set indeed. But there's so many available, over 20,000 courses available. Log in and make yourselves available to it. It is rating on you, so you become the best Barbadian worker that there truly is. Thank you, Raphael.
My pleasure, Pearson. Thank you so much. And Barbados, make the most of the opportunity. We're here to serve you.
Well said. I can't say anything else there after that. Make the most of the opportunity. We're here to serve you. Morning Barbados breaks right here. We're coming back in a moment.
Coursera is a global online learning platform offering courses from leading institutions. During their visit, the team continued its work to strengthen learning opportunities across the island with the National Transformation Initiative.
Learners across Barbados have spent almost 500,000 hours learning in Coursera. That is translated into nearly 60,000 certificates earned. Those are real skills and tangible impact that people can take into their lives, from basic digital literacy, project management, customer service, really anything under the sun.
With free access to Coursera through NTI, Barbadians are part of a global learning network. At its core, this partnership connects Barbadians to accredited courses from leading institutions worldwide.
Internationally, we work with countries like Singapore, Azerbaijan, and Barbados is an incredible success story among those. The reach and impact that we've had within the past 5 years is really just a starter for where we're heading into the future. We're excited about the partnership that we have with NTI.
We have about 200 million learners on our platform, and our content comes from accredited leading global universities around the world, as well as corporations around the world. That's really the strength of the platform. It's the size and scale of what we do, but also the quality of our content. That's what makes us special.
Discussions with educational institutions and ministries centered on equipping people with the skills needed for a rapidly changing world.
The courses that you can take on Coursera are a complement to the training and to what you're learning theoretically in your courses.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let
Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
7:30 in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. By the way, before I forget, today is Norma Hunt's birthday. Norma, good morning. I know you're watching. Continue having a beautiful day. She lives life to its full. And so I want to encourage you, Norma, to continue doing that. You know, I'm always behind you. Literally the wind behind your back. So Norma, good morning to you. Enjoy your birthday today. Have a wonderful day. I know you're heading to the beach very shortly, so enjoy the swim. Tomorrow is Labor Day in Barbados. We always celebrate Labor Day on the 1st of May. Some other people across the Caribbean celebrate it on the first Monday of May. And I know you're asking, but when did that change? Perhaps the man who can help us understand all of that is Dr. Henderson Carter, who's the Dean of the Faculty of Humanity and Education. Dr. Carter, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, listeners.
Good to have you. I mean, it feels to me as if we've been doing this on the 1st of May for so long, but I do recall that we used to do it on the first Monday of May as well.
Yes, yes.
Do you remember?
I don't remember quite, but what I could remember is when the first May Day actually happened in Barbados.
Really? Right.
And that was in 1952. May 1st, 1952. And the Barbados Workers' Union had a big event starting at Fairchild Street, which was their headquarters, and thousands of people marching through Bridgetown, through Broad Street, through Baxter's Road, and onto the Empire Club. And guess what, Pearson?
What?
They were chanting, and they had lots of slogans, and some of the slogans read, "We want bread and justice."
Whoa.
"We want immigration." In other words, this was the period, 1952, when people were looking to migrate to England, migrate to Canada, migrate to America. And people were really asking for assistance because unemployment was high, and this was an opportunity to make a statement to the government. And of course, you had people asking for federation as well. Remember 1952, federation is 1958.
Yes.
So at the end of this meeting, I should say, during this meeting, Grantley Adams, who was the president of the Barbados Workers Union, addressed the gathering at Empire Club. Also addressing the gathering there was Frederick Sleepy Smith. Now, we know Sleepy Smith as a member of the Democratic Labour Party, but Sleepy Smith was a member of the Barbados Labour Party. And he said in that address, "I will not follow blindly the government.
Yes.
Or I will not follow blindly any trade union." And he was really making a statement that would really resonate with 1955, when they departed from the Barbados Labour Party and formed the Democratic Labour Party. So 1952, 1st of May, was the first time a May Day march and celebration happened. But officially, the public holiday, the first public holiday, when the government recognized this, was in 1959.
What happened? What caused that to happen?
Well, this is pressure coming from the Grantley Adams-led Barbados Labour Party. Remember, in the 1950s, we transitioned to ministerial government, self-government, and the government now was really in the hands of the Adams-led Barbados Labour Party. And they started to make important moves to diversify the economy. But they also insisted that you would have a public holiday for May Day. And this is important because you don't want a situation to occur when you're having this demonstration and other people are at work. You want the entire Barbados to reflect on May Day, to think about May Day, to think about workers. So that first public holiday was in 1959, and there was a church service at St. Michael's Cathedral, and then a demonstration by the Barbados Workers Union. So May Day goes back all of that period, 1950s. But I also want to make the point that May Day is really a celebration of those workers past, workers present. And let us go back to the past, because it is really asking us to reflect on those past laborers. Those people, for example, like Hannah Mill and Betty Mill. These are names, these are real names, at Morgan Lewis Plantation. And you see their names there in the slave list. People who actually worked the mill, people who actually pushed the canes through those rollers. And it was a very dangerous exercise, because you're working 18 hours a day and you're falling to sleep literally as you feed these canes into the mill. And sometimes your hands are caught. And waiting there for you was someone with a cutlass to save your life.
Wow.
It is those types of circumstances that we want to commemorate. Then, of course, in 1906, the manager of the plantation at Hampton sent down a man to clean a well. A well about 50 feet deep. A very deep well.
Very deep.
And this guy goes down there and he's cleaning and he's sending up buckets of mold. And suddenly, they don't hear anything from him. They send down another man. Nothing from him either.
Wow.
Send down a third man. And while and he asked to be brought up. But of course, while he was being brought up, the rope fell in. 3 men dead
in
the well at Hampton. And guess what? They sent down a chicken. And then they sent down a pig, a sow pig.
Whoa.
And they came up to, exhausted. So then the next day, they sent for an old well digger at Sandy Hill. And before he went down, he got a match, lit some newspaper, and put it into the well to determine whether gas was in the well.
Right.
And the problem was gas. Yes. And he successfully went down and brought up the bodies.
Wow.
But it really shows what dangers, were associated with labor. Those people did not receive, or the parents and the guardians did not receive any workmen's compensation. Because this is 1906. Workmen's compensation occurred in the 1950s. Of course, people got together, the manager got together and raised some funds for them, but that was not enough. But it really shows the dangers of working in those days. But it also shows May Day is also a time to reflect on the skill of our laborers.
I want to talk about that.
Yes.
I don't like breaking these stories, but I have to take a break.
Yes.
I will come right back with more with Dr. Henderson Carter in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
20 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock, and so the story continues. We're looking at Labor Day, and we're looking at, before Labor Day, some of the conditions that led us to why Labor Day was first instituted, indeed. And so now we know of the march from the Barbados Workers' Union headquartered there on Fairchild Street at the time, and ended then at the Empire Club. The other one later that came and ended at St. Michael's Cathedral, I think it was.
Well, it started at St. Michael's
Cathedral.
Yeah.
And then we heard the story of what happened at Hampton. But we also, in looking at the celebration of labor, look at the skills as well. So that's where we broke in the story.
Yes. Laborers were very skillful. And I want to go back to those enslaved Africans, those enslaved people. There is a bridge in Blackman's territory. We call it Eiga Molasses Bridge, or just Blackman's Bridge. That bridge was commissioned by a manager and owner of a plantation called Jacob Lucy in 1682. But it was really built by the enslaved people. And that bridge is standing today. It is just to the south of Grantley Adams Memorial, and it is made of soft stone blocks, or what we call limestone blocks, a little egg shell, and molasses as well. Oh. But look at that. For all these years, this bridge is still standing. And it is a testimony to the skill of these workers who are not mentioned. So that when you look at the Blackman's records, you will not mention those enslaved workers who actually built the bridge. And another important person in this respect is Adam Straw Waterman. Now, Adam Straw Waterman was born in 1803 during slavery. So he was enslaved up until 1836, and he became one of Barbados's best stonemason. He built or rebuilt the church at St. John Parish Church after it was blown down in the hurricane of 1836. But nowhere at the church is it mentioned. He also built the sugar factory at Kendall Plantation. There it is mentioned in a plaque, A.S. Waterman. And we're also finding that he also worked at the Parliament, on the Parliament buildings in the 1870s. So when you see those lovely buildings, etc., this is partly the work of our stonemason, Adam Straw Waterman, who was buried in the St. George Parish Church. So May Day is a celebration of this excellence that we don't really find. May Day is also a time to reflect on some of the other tragedies that occurred. You've heard about the Hampton tragedy.
Yes.
But I want to go back to a tragedy that happened at Bishop's Hill. Now, Bishop's Hill in St. Philip is close to Moncrief. And in 1809, on the 14th of April, yes, 14th of April, 1809, over 20 workers were working in a quarry. And their job was to fetch marl from this quarry to work on the Great St. Philip Road.
Right.
That road that took you down from Halton, right down through Brighton, etc. And guess what? 5:30 in the afternoon, the quarry caved in and buried many of these workers. 20 of them died. 5 were maimed. And guess what, Pearson? No compensation for the workers, no compensation for the families. Guess who got the compensation?
The owners.
The owners. Parliament passed legislation to compensate these owners. And this is something that we must look at carefully as we reflect on May Day. So we're looking back on those people, and we're also looking back on a very important meeting that I call a laborers' meeting. And this meeting occurred at Apes Hill on the 27th of July, 1838, just days before emancipation. 400 laborers turned up at Apes Hill, not to work, but to meet. This is a meeting, workers' meeting. You imagine that? A workers' meeting on the 27th of July, 1838. And guess what they're asking for? Money, land, and a house.
Wow.
I call this the first reparations meeting, where workers are coming together and asking for these things. And the governor of the country got scared. He rode down all the way to Apes Hill and addressed the people and begged them not to riot, begged them not to disturb the country. And he said to them, Her Majesty's government has already given £20 million for your release. They did not get anything. Nothing. And the 1st of August, 1838, was peaceful. People went to church, people celebrated. But the 2nd of August was strike stroke this country.
Wow.
Yes, 2nd of August. So this is, the workers were on the move. Long before the Barbados Workers Union, long before the Nurses Union, long before organized trade unions, these workers were on the move.
Dr. Carter, thank you for joining us. I can only just say thank you for joining, because this feels as if I need more. I'm hungry for more. And if you're hungry for more, of course, there's the publication Today in Bajan History. It's a publication available. Dr. Carter has, it's available at the UE bookstore as well.
Yes.
Right. So for sure, you can get your hard copy. Can we get it online too?
No, it's not online. In the bookstores.
In the bookstores.
And one more thing, Pearson.
Quick.
Tomorrow, celebrating May Day, the university will have a Today in Bajan History bus tour.
Oh, sweet. Sweet.
Taking people all around the country, telling stories. We'll be going to the Harp Gun, Bailey's Plantation, the Medical Museum at Gemma's Lane, all of those wonderful
Is it too late to get on the bus tour quickly?
Too late. All the tickets have gone.
What you tell me for? Just kidding. But thank you so much indeed.
But another one is coming up in November.
For sure, we'll keep our ears peeled for that one. Marcia Ropp says she's been on that bridge at Blackman's last year. Never heard about it before that day, but Barbados, she had so much fun. I do remember Sleepy Smith, the politician, from Pat Ben. So people, it's triggering memories. Get to know more about the history. First Wizard, who says there's no doubt, yes, in those days, Bajans were treated like slaves. We're slaves in this, and on and on and on. Dr. Carter, we are so grateful for your knowledge of Barbados history. Please continue to share this excellent information with all of us. From Pat. Pat, thanks indeed. There's a thirst and a desire and a hunger for more. The faculty, Humanities and Education at the University of the Wendy's helps to open your mind up to all of these things. There's a library there as well, so you can do your own research. But the book, Today in Bajan History, gets you titillated to get to know a whole lot more. Dr. Carter, thanks.
You're welcome.
You're welcome indeed. Morning Barbados comes back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich Boyce and Damien Best as they review the action, the goals, the grit, the glory, and the stories shaping the league. From kickoff to the final whistle, this is your front row seat to Monday Night Football. Touchline, bringing you closer to the BFA Premier League. See you on the touchline, live on TV8.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
What's going on, Barbados? I need one help. I am 25-year-old Kiara Williams, and I was born and raised right here in this beautiful island of Barbados. Now, I got a secret to tell you. I have a chance to compete on Beast Games Season 3. I know, I literally can't believe it either. This is the first international Beast Games competition, and we need someone who's competitive and who can represent us authentically. And that's me. I promise to lead with integrity and make all of you guys proud. I want to show the world that we might be small, but we're definitely mighty, and I know y'all got my back. So if the choice is not already crystal clear, come and put your vote with Key.
We're going to put our vote with Key. Kiara Williams is sitting with me now. Kiara, how did you know about these Beast Games?
Hi, good morning, Barbados. Thank you for having me. I actually follow Mr. Beast on Instagram, and he posted it on social, so I just applied. And for those of you who don't know, Mr. Beast is the largest YouTuber in the world. I think he has about 400 or 500 million subscribers.
Okay, so what are the Beast Games?
It's a competition show where persons from all around the world compete in various challenges such as mental, physical, social for a grand prize. And this is the first time that they've extended the applications internationally. So when I saw it, I just had to apply.
So we're going to have contestants from different regions of the world and different countries of the world.
Yeah,
and so
one person from every country in the world.
So for you, it's Barbados we want to represent. And so how do we get you on to Beast Games?
Okay, so right now there's a voting process going on between myself and another candidate. You guys can go to beastgames.com/vote and just select my name. You will vote, you'll put in your email address, your name, and then your date of birth, and you're good to go. Just make sure that you press save so that the vote actually counts.
Okay, so now you know, vote for Kiara, vote for Kiara, vote for Kiara. So beastgames.com/vote. And in there you go, you find Kiara's name, you vote, save, and it goes.
Yeah.
And in doing that, of course, you fill in whatever needs to be filled in. And you can vote more than once?
No, you can only vote once per email address. Yeah. And voting is closing tomorrow around midday. So just make sure you guys get in the votes as soon as possible.
We need to flood it today. We need to flood it today. So all of you, because we want to send Kiara Williams to the Beast Games to represent Barbados. And in these games, you're tested in a number of challenges.
Yeah.
How are you preparing for this?
I would say that the challenges are mostly social, and I think that I have that area down pat. I've dabbled in pageantry a bit, so I definitely have people-person skills. I'm also a team player, as I would have competed in cheerleading competitions. I did netball, I did gymnastics, and I think that that would assist me to go far in the game, because you need to have a certain level of team player in you to go far in the game, honestly.
But you have to outsmart some other people
definitely,
too.
definitely.
So are you that kind of girl?
I would say so too, but I need to be.
You have to be bubbling with personality indeed, but it's a competition.
Yeah.
And when does filming of it begin?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
But once you get in, they will inform you of the next steps and so forth. So voting ends tomorrow. Voting ends tomorrow, folks. Voting ends tomorrow. Kiara Williams, beastgames.com/vote. Look for Kiara Williams, or Kiara if you wish, and you save your vote, and of course it goes right through. She's also up against Jacob.
Yeah.
Kiara is going to these games, and so we want you to get on to it, do your vote. Let's flood it. You can only vote once. That's why it's important that you share this with all that you know, on all who you know, so that each person with whom you share it, they can vote for Kiara. That's what you see right there. See? Kiara shares the video we shared with you, and once you hit vote, boom, it goes off indeed, and we're getting Kiara into the Beast Games. You fill in the form, as you see in your registration. Can we read it up again? Okay, there it is. That's it. You fill in your email address and you continue on and you follow all of the prompts that are given to you to completion, and your vote is registered. By tomorrow, we need to complete all of this. So share it, folks. Let's get behind her. The same way you got behind that speed guy. You get behind Kiara Williams as well to be a part of the Beast Games. Now, there's a hefty sum at play right now.
Yes, there is.
There's also, as I started to preview for this, I saw there's a portion of the competition that says, if you want to leave now, I'll tease you with some money.
Yeah.
But whatever that money is, the number of people who choose to leave now, it has to be split between all of them.
Yeah.
So that's a component. If you want to just duck out early and walk with your million, you can do so, or a portion thereof. But you're competing for a hefty sum. Why is that important to you?
I think for me, I would just want to take care of my family. I wish to have my own family one day too. So just having that peace of mind to know that my future generations will be secured. And then obviously just give back to my community where I can, honestly.
Who did you discuss your decision to enter this competition with?
I can tell you the truth. Nobody. I seriously, I just saw it. I just applied. I didn't tell anyone.
Is that you generally, or you figure, if I tell someone, I might jinx myself?
I thought so too, and I didn't want anyone to talk me out of it. So I just said, you know what, I can just take the risk, I can just do it, and whatever happens, happens.
Yep. Well, you're going to get in. We're promising, right, Barbados? We are promising Kiara Williams, she's going to be in it to represent us for the upcoming Beast Games Season 3. Season 3, will be competing. Or you can scan right now, scan it and vote Kiara. Scan, take your phones, scan it, or look back later at the show and scan. You have until tomorrow to get your vote in. The Beast Games are dexterity, not so much, but more so mental and social. And you are preparing for this. If you should get in, because I believe filming will start real soon, production of it will start really soon, does it mean that you have to travel to the UK?
Yes, it will be abroad. Not sure exactly where. Yeah, I believe hopefully once I'm selected, they will give me all the details, but at the moment I just know it will be abroad, not in Barbados.
It'll be abroad. She's representing Barbados. She wants to do this to empower herself, to create opportunities that are meaningful for her family and those she loves very dearly. It's a significant prize. Even if you opt out earlier, it's a significant prize there as well. But prize aside, Kiara Williams wants to prove to herself and to prove to all of us that she has what it takes to be a star. And so in being that star, we need to give her our help. And our help comes through our going online now to beastgames.com/vote, and we vote for Kiara Williams. We vote by filling in our details very carefully, our email address and other details, and you hit send or save, and it goes. And you need to do so by tomorrow. You really have today and tomorrow. You can only vote once. But the need for the numbers require you to share this as well with your friends and your family, to encourage everyone as you share it to also vote for Kiara. And if you don't know them and you see someone, hey, listen, have you seen? Vote for Kiara. You get them involved as well. This is important for Barbados, that Barbados has the kind of candidate who can represent us and represent us well, but the kind of candidate who goes into this competition with a heart, with a purpose. And so we want you to get voting for Kiara Williams, indeed. And so Kiara, we wish you well. I really hope the votes load up fast.
Thank you.
Enough for, and I know you probably don't even know how you compare right now in terms of votes.
Yeah, no, we're not sure.
You're not sure. You just get, but when can you expect? By the end of tomorrow you can know?
I am expecting maybe within the upcoming week.
Right.
Not sure exactly when. But I do want to say, Barbados, thank you so much for voting so far. It does not go unnoticed. I really, really appreciate it. So continue voting. Thank you, guys.
Thank you to Kiara. Kiara Williams is her name. We want to get her in the game, the Beast Games for 2026 season 3. And so it is as simple as you voting for her. So she gets her there to represent Barbados. And then we wait to see how it all goes from there. The Beast Games now casting worldwide. And of course, as you see, you go to beastgames.com and you vote and you vote and you vote. That hefty sum at the top is what they're up to win. And so that's it for today. My little crew joins me saying to all of you, have a terrific tomorrow, Labor Day. Be it the will of the Lord, we will see you on Monday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.